Sorry, I'm just adjusting my camera here. All right, it's 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 11 a.m. Pacific on this rather sultry Sunday here in Minneapolis, St. Paul, on this Sunday, September 14th. My name is Wes. I am the creator, co host, and social media manager of this Star Trek podcast called Twin Cities Trekkies, a podcast talking about everything from the original Star Trek all the way to Star Trek Strange New Worlds and everything in between. Hi, Ed. I'm glad you're back. To get in touch with us is simple. So this is live episode number 8, talking about the season finale of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, season 3, episode 10, New Life and New Civilizations. Before we get started, Ed has already said hi, but for everyone else who wants to join, the live chat is open, so you can drop a line, say hello, and we can get started. But to get in touch with us, it is simple. Send us an email at tctrekkiespodcast@gmail.com. Feel free to send us an email with anything you'd like to say. If this season finale was one of your favorite episodes of the season, you can definitely let us know, and I'll gladly read your email on a future episode of this podcast. If you want to leave us a comment on social media, that's perfectly fine as well. The handle for Facebook is TC Trekkies Pod. Instagram is Twin Cities Trekkies Pod. Or you can find us out on Blue Sky. Just search out TC Trekkies, and the banner should read Twin Cities Trekkies Podcast. If you want to leave us a comment on Spotify, you can definitely do that when the live stream is available, which will be on Tuesday evenings. You can definitely do that and find the comment section and type your comment there. It takes about 24 hours for the comment to reach back to us. But just keep in mind that any emails or comments could be read on a future episode of Twin Cities Trekkies. So before we get into the season finale of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, I want to talk about a few things regarding Twin Cities Trekkies. First of all, if you've been following our social media handles, I have decided what I'm going to do regarding Star Trek Con, the new audio podcast drama. So coming in November, we're gonna wait until the miniseries is over, and we're gonna review both. We're gonna do it in two parts. Reviewing Star Trek Con. So we're gonna We're gonna review all 9 episodes and give final thoughts and stuff like that. We're gonna divide it up. I'm gonna divide it up between yes. Yeah, Ed says Con is very good so far. I listened to the first episode 2 times. Yes. Yeah, so we're gonna split it up into 2 parts. I haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna be doing live streams for those, or I'll do them as other podcast episodes. I haven't decided yet, but keep an eye out for that. There is some other big news regarding Star Trek, the Star Trek universe itself. First of all, there is a new preschoolers Star Trek series called Star Trek Scouts. Now, I watched the first episode this weekend. It's in 2 parts, about 4 minutes apart. It's on a YouTube channel. I forgot the name of the YouTube channel, but it was a show that's not for me. It was very interesting. Don't get me wrong. It was very interesting. But I actually found a Star Trek show that's not for me. And I'm glad that they're doing this, actually, because I think Star Trek Scouts, yes, it is designed for preschoolers. And it is a fascinating show. But it's more like Dora the Explorer meets Star Trek. But I'm not complaining about it. There are a lot of people who are, and I'm going like, why? And I don't understand, because this show is not designed for you. It was never designed for the adults. It was designed for preschoolers ages 3 and 4, and maybe 5 years old. Yeah, I enjoyed it, actually. I actually really did enjoy it. I actually had to laugh a few times, actually, because it was so ridiculous. But that's okay. It's like if I wanted nostalgia for preschool shows like Sesame Street or Barney, I will go watch an episode on YouTube. I will definitely do that if I ever want to do that. Yeah, and Ed said, I enjoyed it. I welcome anything that brings younger viewers to Star Trek. Me too, Ed. And I'm glad they're doing this because, um, I mean, granted, I've been a Star Trek fan all my life because my parents are big Star Trek fans. But I have always said that I am glad. I'm glad that they are branching out regarding Star Trek. This is one of the reasons why I've enjoyed this era of Star Trek is because they're not doing the same formula over and over and over and over again. That's what one of the failures, I would say, quote unquote failures of the Berman era, which was the era of Next Gen to Enterprise. So because it was the same formula over and over again, and eventually people got tired of it and they turned it off. Now, whereas this era of Star Trek, you have a show, as geared towards the LGBT community, which is Discovery, or Prodigy, which was geared towards the kids, but you had it was more geared towards the adults too. But unfortunately, Paramount didn't know how to market the darn show, and it got removed from Paramount Plus and then put it on Netflix, and Netflix didn't do a damn thing to promote it, so that's why it's no longer available. And Kate Mulgrew is still kind of infuriated that they canceled it. So, and I remember that. So, and then you got Strange New Worlds, which is the Star Trek fans who wanted like an episodic show, and Picard, who wanted more of Next Gen. Wanted more of Picard and his story, and then you got Lower Decks, who wanted an animated comedy with regards to like respecting the canon and stuff like that, and that's what they did for 5 seasons. And then you got Star Trek Scouts, which is you got a show gets geared to preschoolers, and I am I like I said, I found a show that's not for me, and that's okay. You don't have to like everything that Paramount and Skydance put out for Star Trek anymore. You can like a certain thing, but not be a gatekeeper about it. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people hating on Star Trek Scouts because of that. Because they say, "Oh, this is ridiculous. Why are you doing this for kids?" Well, yes, Lower Decks was successful in sticking the landing 5 great seasons. Yes. I agree, Ed. And, I'm just saying that I'm glad that they're doing this because you got to get kids, you got to have the next generation of Star Trek fans. I mean, Prodigy is the way to go for that. But since Prodigy has been canceled twice, where are you going to go? So you got to go with the preschoolers. And that's what Star Trek Scouts is. It's a show designed for preschoolers, and it has Star Trek themes. It's more like the exploration aspect of Star Trek. And if Star Trek Scouts actually gets the kids excited about Star Trek and STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, I am all for it because, Star Trek did that. Star Trek has done that over the past 59 years. A lot of the actors who have been a part of Star Trek have said that they had fans come up to them and say, I became a doctor because of you. I became an engineer because of you. And if this is the same kind of concept they do for Star Trek Scouts, like they do for, like it happens later on that say, hey, I became my first Star Trek when I was a little kid was Star Trek Scouts, and I hope that comes a reality, and because we definitely need the next generation, pardon the pun, of Star Trek fans who are inspired by a show that helps them understand science, math, engineering, and technology. So That's what I'm really hopeful for. That's what I'm really hoping for Star Trek Scouts. I'm very. This was a very surprising announcement. Granted, I guess there was a registry back in May for a show called Star Trek Starfleet Scouts, but then it was shortened to Star Trek Scouts. So that's what I understand. But I did watch the first episodes in two parts, and I found a show that's not for me, and that's okay. I mean, it was an interesting 8 minutes of my life. So and I don't understand why people hate on it. It's just because it's is it because of that cycle of like, you gotta hate the new stuff before you start to like it. I don't know. But the other big thing of Star Trek I wanted to touch on before I talk about the season finale of Strange New Worlds is because the long rumored partnership with Lego is officially starting. There was a teaser trailer for Star Trek Day, in which a minifig of Captain Picard was beamed aboard the Enterprise. So I am pretty excited about this. I mean, I have always loved Lego, and I'm glad that Lego and Paramount are teaming up to do Star Trek. I mean, granted, I have been begging for this since I was a kid. I was playing with Legos since I was like maybe 5, and I was hoping that they would do something about Star Trek, and I was always excited about it. And then granted, my hope for this collaboration with Lego and Paramount and for Star Trek is they do three things. One, they do a Lego Star Trek video game. And what I'm anticipating would be is that they go through one of the series or they go through the first 6 films. Yeah, probably on my price range. Yeah. Yeah, I like New Friend. Yeah. Yes, the Lego sets are an exciting prospect, X says. Probably on my price range, but like the kids show, I welcome anything that would bring new fans to Star Trek, and I too would also like a Star Trek video game. Yeah, so if they did a Star Trek video game, I would suggest they do either one based on the films, like maybe the first 6 films, or they do it based upon the Next Generation or any of the new series and stuff like that. I don't anticipate Strange New Worlds doing a collaboration with Lego, but since we're doing a Muppet episode for season 4, I'm not gonna be terribly surprised if they do like maybe for one of the episodes for season 5, they do an episode with Legos, but I'm not holding my breath. But it'd be interesting to see if they actually did that. This is now official that Lego and Paramount and Star Trek are coming together, and I'm kind of excited about it. The other two things I want is a Lego Star Trek special, with a streaming special, but kind of like what Disney did for Star Wars. They did a few Star Wars Lego specials, and it's available on Disney Plus. So I'm hoping that they do something for like a Lego Star Trek television series. Yeah. Oh, if they do a game, I think it would give an opportunity to use the entire franchise together, perhaps in the vein of the Q Conflict comic series. Oh yeah, that's right. They did that's right. I'm aware of the Q Conflict. I never read it, but I'm aware of it. I mean, it was kind of it's in the Kelvin timeline, but it definitely is. I see 2 people now, but who's the other person? But that's beside the fact. That'd be interesting to get the whole franchise together, and also, oh, it wasn't. I thought it was. I thought it was the Q Conflict was set during the Kelvin timeline, and it was in the Kelvin timeline's version of the 24th century. So, oh, Thanks for correcting me, Ed. I did not know that. I was thinking about there was one. I thought that was. So thank you for correcting me. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. But like I said, I'm hoping that they do a Lego Star Trek special, a streaming special, and it would be fun to get not only for the video game that I would hope that they hope they would make, but also for the specials, they would actually get some of the get some of the cast members from the various series to voice characters in Lego form. Oh my gosh, that would be oh my gosh, would that be amazing? That would be epic if they can do that. Like get like some of the various cast members of the various series do their minifigure voices. Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. Oh man, now I kind of want it. And then the third thing I want is that I am a huge fan of the Lego Masters television show on Fox, which is a reality show in which 10 teams from across the country compete to create Lego builds. And they are the ultimate prize is $100,000 and a trophy. And I am hopeful that they would do it. They would for the next season, because I know it's coming back for a sixth season, that they would, yeah, you should watch it, Ed. I think you'd like it because Will Arnett is the host. And Will Arnett is a very funny guy. And I can imagine this happening. It would be an episode dedicated to Star Trek, making Star Trek style builds to celebrate the collaboration between Lego and Star Trek, and to celebrate 60 years of the franchise. And I think that would be great. I can see Will Arnett dressed up as a Klingon and the Brickmasters, who are part of the Lego company. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I knew him from too, was Arrested Development, but also he's the voice of Lego Batman. So he's hilarious with Lego Batman. But I would totally love to see Lego. I would love to see Will Arnett dressed up as a Klingon with the whole makeup and all, whole makeup, beard, maybe not the teeth, but definitely the ridges, the beard, the regalia, everything. And the Brickmasters, Jamie and I forgot the other one. I forgot the other name now. Jamie and I forgot her name now. Oh man, I'm gonna kick myself if I know if I'm gonna. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me. It's gonna. Oh, I can see those two being Starfleet officers, the Brickmasters. They work for the Lego company, so they judge the builds based upon aesthetics, storytelling, and a lot of other things, and how elaborate it is. And I would love to see an episode for season 6 of Lego Masters, which will be coming probably next year, to do an episode based upon Star Trek to celebrate 60 years, and also to celebrate the collaboration between Star Trek and Lego. So that's what I'm really, really hoping for, because that would be really fun, because they've done themed shows already. They have done they have done Star Wars ones. They have done Harry Potter ones. They have done I'm just saying because those are the big popular brands for Lego, is they've done those things. And I think it would be fun to see that on Lego Masters, especially Will Arnett. I could just see that happening, actually. I really can. Him with the whole regalia and the Klingon ridges and the beard, and coming on stage on the Lego Masters set and just saying, "We're celebrating Star Trek." So I could see that really, really happening. And you know what? It'd be really cool if they actually did that. They would get like a special, like, a guest on the show too. They've actually had guests on the show. They've actually had previous winners finalists for the competition judge their build or look at their builds before they leave the set. I can see this happening. I can see William Shatner actually joining the Brickmasters and Will Arnett on the stage. Yes. Yeah, and we can definitely do that. I've been meaning to try. I'm going to try to, yes. Wes, I think you and I should get together and do an episode of your show and chat Star Trek and focus on the Lego aspect too. I have thoughts and feel your passion on the subject. Thank you, Ed. Yes, we should. Yes, we should. So that's what I'm hoping for Lego and Star Trek. And, that's what I'm really hoping for this collaboration with Star Trek. I hope it sells well. I mean, granted, it'll probably sell well with all of us Trekkies who are into collecting or into Legos. And I can see it selling really well. I can really do. I can see them. I think it's going to be the Enterprise D that's going to be first because that's been rumored to happen first. But I can see other sets happening. I can see the original Enterprise. I can see probably the Defiant or Deep Space Nine. I can see Voyager. I can see the NX-01. I can see the Strange New Worlds Enterprise, but I can't see Discovery yet. But I can definitely see like Lower Decks or the other show. I can see the other shows being represented in Lego. So that's going to be great. I can't wait. So, and that was pretty much it for Star Trek. I mean, yes. Yeah. Something a wise person once told me, if you want more of something like Lego Trek, then we need to buy what they offer first. That will determine the future. Yes. I agree, Ed. Yes. So, like I said, I hope it sells well. So, because I know that with other economic aspects of the world, it might be a little bit harder for Trekkies to purchase Star Trek Lego. But I'm hoping it still does sell well so they can make more sets because Star Trek is popular, but not as popular as, say, Star Wars or Harry Potter, which is their two biggest collaborations for Lego sets, other than the other ones that they personally make, like the botanical gardens and stuff like that, and the cities and the city sets and the space sets and the racing and stuff like that, and other such collaborations they've made over the years. So, but Star Wars and Harry Potter are the two biggest ones. So I know that. So I hope Star Trek becomes a part of that. So, anywho, shifting gears, literally, to talking about the season finale of Strange New Worlds, New Life and New Civilizations. Now, this had a lot of payoffs. Oh, Ed said, I want the crew of Voyager in minifig format so I can blend Tuvok and Neelix. Oh, yes. I can see. And everyone can have their own Tuviks. Yes. I love that. Everyone can have their own Tuvix and they don't have to kill it. So, there you go, Trek fans. There you go. If you can listen to Ed here, I hope that Star Trek is listening and says, let's do a Voyager and everyone can have their own Tuvix and they don't have to have Janeway kill them. So, but back to the Strange New Worlds. I love your idea, Ed. I really do. But I love your idea. So, New Life and New Civilizations. Now, when this episode's title was first released, which was about 2 weeks before the season premiered in July, I remember I shared it with social media, and everyone who was commenting on it, going like, "Is this last season of Strange New Worlds?" Because New Life and New Civilization sounds like a series finale title. Now, I had to tell everybody that it's not. We still got season 4, and then the season 5 announcement came shortly after the episode's titles were released. See, the season 5 announcement. So, but I thought this is an interesting title New Life and New Civilizations. Now, I'm thinking that the series finale title is going to be titled Too Boldly Go, or my personal favorite, Space, The Final Frontier. So I think it's going to be that, or that, whatever one, Too Boldly Go. But then Too Boldly Go was the series finale of Star Trek Continues. So, which is a fan-made series. Go watch it if you haven't already. But I thought this was a great finale. Actually, I don't know why a lot of people don't like it. I really didn't understand it because it paid off a lot of things. I mean, granted, I was on board with Ed's idea that Captain Batel was going to be the Gorn captain that Captain Kirk encounters and almost kills in Arena, but doesn't. But I am okay with this. I'm okay with it, how Captain Batel and Pike's relationship ends, actually, because I love the inner light aspect of it, because that was really cool. I mean, I was actually emotional, and this is actually the first Kurtzman era live action Star Trek series episode to have emotion and actually work, because there have been episodes so far in this era, in these 8 years of Star Trek, of Kurtzman running the show, that there have been emotional moments and they've been unearned. The one that usually comes to mind when I think about it that's been unearned is the episode Project Daedalus from Star Trek Discovery's second season. And I remember talking about that with Lars from Trek. I think the dislike of this episode is a multi-layered reason. Some may want more action, some may want less cerebral writing, but I enjoyed it. Yes, I was one of those people who actually enjoyed it because it paid off a lot of things. Because through the lens of time, had an open-ended ending. Because of when the Vesda were in the transporter buffer in the medical in sick bay. There was a flicker of the console at the end of the episode. So you knew it was going to be paid off some way or another at the end of the season. And the way that Batel reacted to Gamble the first time, there was going to be something that had to be paid off. And it did. And I'm actually very thankful that it was paid off somewhat, because I can't see the Vesda being the next Borg. I really couldn't see that happening. I couldn't see I mean, Ed, I was on board with your idea of Batel being the Gorn captain that Captain Kirk almost kills in Arena. But I'm thankful it didn't actually happen off that way, because I think I kind of like this idea for her. I mean, because now this is something that I know a lot of people had problems with Pike being involved with another person after Vina in the cage, and I thought, okay, how are they going to rectify that? Because I was always curious about that, because we know that he ends up with Vina in the menagerie after he's crippled and stuff like that. But we didn't know how he got there. Now we kind of have an idea, because with Batel turning into this creature and being the statue that keeps the Vesda at bay, he has a broken heart, obviously, but we know that eventually he will be back with Vina again, and after his accident, and he will be able to be with that person that he was always destined to be with. So and I liked that idea, and I really did enjoy that very much. And I liked the inner light aspect of the whole episode too, because a lot of people, I mean, I've seen a lot of people thought, oh, this Inner Light thing was pretty cool because it gives Pike and Patel some closure. And I liked that. It was really nice. Yeah. It's not unheard of. I've had relationships where I end and I've moved on to others instead of that first person again. It's a Pike possibility. Yeah. And that's what I think is going to happen, because he's going to be that. He's going to be probably brokenhearted for a while. Yes, I love the Inner Light section. That was my favorite part of the whole episode, actually, because I loved it because it gives Pike and Battelle some closure over 3 years of being of this relationship that we followed since the pilot of Strange New Worlds, and it gives them closure because it gives Pike and Battelle the future that they should that they wanted to have together. Being married, avoiding the accident, and having a child, having a daughter, and then his daughter grows up and is engaged to Admiral April's son, and and eventually both dying. Eventually, with Battelle dying and eventually Pike dying. That's the happily ever after kind of ending. And yeah, it definitely had Inner Light aspects to it. I mean, the whole thing was in the space of in terms of runtime, it was about 10 minutes. But it probably was a lot longer in his mind. It was like a lot longer. And I loved it because I liked that because it gave closure to me. It gave closure to this relationship. And sometimes when relationships end, either by death or mutually parting ways, sometimes you don't get closure. And this time, and it happens in television a lot. And this time it actually did work because I thought it was great because I really did. I really thought it was awesome. And yes, I do agree with some of the reviews I've read. Gamble was pretty much there for like less than 5 minutes and just went poof. Yeah, the saddest part for me, Pike was looking at his apron, hoping it would say Chef Pike, only to see that it doesn't. Heartbreaking. Yeah, the ending was heartbreaking. Because he went over to his apron, found out there was no Chef Pike on it, and just sat and just let it sit on the table. And I'm hoping that I said this because I commented on it on Captain Squadron's live stream on Friday night. I said Paramount should sell that and make it customized for anybody. And Jace, otherwise known as VHS Jace, said someone on Etsy is probably going to make that already. And you know what? I don't disagree with what he said regarding that. But that needs to be sold. I mean, if you want some merch to be really well done for Star Trek and have fans actually have it, I think Paramount should sell customized aprons with Chef Your Name here in that writing because it looked awesome. It was awesome. It was a very interesting apron. And, I wonder what he's going to do now. I mean, is he ever going to cook again? Because, I didn't think about this until you said something about it, Ed. It's like something about the Chef Pike only to see it doesn't. Heartbreaking. I wonder what he's gonna do now. Is he gonna not cook again? It's gonna be interesting to see what these next 2 seasons entails for any sort of cooking scene in his quarters. But I am very curious to see if he's ever gonna cook again. Because he cooked for Battelle so many times. Oh yeah. I'm sure he will, but I can imagine his image will be something he carries with him. Yeah. Or, he could probably he could potentially remind him of what he went through by having someone alter that apron for him and say Chef Pike on it. But I don't know. I think this could be an interesting aspect of his character that we never known before. I mean, granted, he's gone through heartbreak twice. So, not I'm saying that twice because he finally in the cage he realizes that Vina was actually older, like aged, had aged before because the Telosians had altered her appearance to his mind to appear different, for her to appear different, and so with that he got heartbroken when he was heartbroken on Talos, and now he's heartbroken again, and I yes they had put her they had put her back together wrong. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, right. I forgot that aspect. They had never seen a human before, so they had to build her back the way that they could have. But he's experienced heartbreak twice, and with Vina, and now with Murray Battelle, and I don't know. I don't know how this is all gonna wrap up for him. I really don't. But he's gonna end up with Vina again. We all know that. But right now, you can definitely tell he was hurting. His emotions really did. Anson Mount did a great job of conveying emotion very, very well in that. Because no, don't worry about it, Ed. Don't worry about it. He says, I feel like CNN fact checking. I just remember things differently. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I appreciate you correcting me, actually. I really do. So I really do appreciate you correcting me, Ed, because I forgot. Because it's been a while since I've seen the cage and the menagerie. So it's been a while since I've seen those 3 episodes. So don't worry about it. But but oh man, I have to give props to Anson Mount and Melanie Scarfano. They really shined in this episode of Strange New Worlds. And I just think that I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna say what I was saying about the season as a whole for next week, but this season finale was definitely a lot. It was definitely a great season finale because I honestly thought, was this episode a better season finale than season 2's? I mean, granted, we had a 2.5-year hiatus in between them, but we had a 2-year hiatus in between the 2 episodes. But I think this was a great finale. I can't oversay it enough. This was great. I mean, the season finales for Strange New Worlds these 3 seasons have been out of the park. I liked the first season finale. I liked the season 2 finale. I don't think we would have liked the season 2 finale as a bad one if it wasn't about the 2 years, but they never anticipated 2 years. Yeah, I mean, yes, that is true because season 2 had aired during the strikes, and season 3 was about ready to start filming when the strikes happened. Actually, it was. I know this for a fact because I actually I wrote an article for it a few years ago. Excuse me, in which Bernadette Croft, the costume designer, had said that they had written the first 3 episodes of season 3 before the strikes and had outlines for 7 of the 10. So they were working on designs and stuff like that for 7 of the 10 episodes. So up to what was it? What was episode 7 again? Oh, What is Starfleet? And that was that. And What is Starfleet? And they had to shut down production for the strikes. Yeah, so they didn't anticipate 2 years in between. But I don't. Yeah, I'll save my thoughts for next week regarding the whole season. But this was I think all three season finales of Strange New Worlds so far have been 100% out of the park, and this is no exception because I really did enjoy all of it. I also loved the Kirk Spock thing. I really did enjoy that very, very much. And I thought this was a great way to, you know, have the relationship between those two. Yeah, I love the whole season too. I mean, there were some issues, but I will save all that for next week when I'm gonna go live stream again for the next live stream. We're because I intend to do a wrap up episode of live streaming. Because after next week, I'm not going to do a live stream for a while because, like I said, I'm not sure about Star Trek Con being a live stream or not. I haven't decided, but I definitely will keep my overall thoughts of season 3 in next week's live stream. But long story short, season 3 did have a lot of good things about it. There were some blunders, mainly 4.5 Vulcans, but I mean, maybe I need to rewatch it again. I mean, I'll rewatch it again, but I'm not sure. But definitely, I'm going to say, long story short, the 2.5 unexpected years in between seasons 2 and 3 probably, in my opinion, probably helped it, but in some aspects it did not help. So I loved the whole season. I did. But they took risks. That's what Star Trek's all about. That's what Captain Kirk said in Return to Tomorrow. Risk is our business. That's, yeah. Thanks, Ed. I appreciate that. So, we're going to wrap it up now. Next week I am going to be back on lives, but I'm going to let you guys know that the time may shift. I did have it scheduled for next Sunday at 1 p.m., but it may shift to later on in the day because I am potentially doing something on Sunday afternoon. So it could change, but I will let you guys know as soon as I know. So I will let you guys know. So if it doesn't happen next week, it'll be the week after for sure. So, but I will keep you guys posted. So season 3 wrap up next week, talking about the whole season as a whole. So, because I think we need to have our own live stream about the whole season and stuff like that. So we just focus on Strange New Worlds, the final episode this season. By the way, my rating is 5 out of 5. I should mention that before the end of the live stream here. So 5 out of 5, great finale. Looking forward to season 4 in the 2026 season. So we will see you next week, and I'll keep you posted about the time and whatnot as we get closer to it. Take care and live long and prosper.